Welcome back. Thank you guys for waiting. We just wrapped up Seraphic versus Showtime. Seraphic picking up their first win of the KDL Preseason 2, and now we're moving on to the second team match of the evening, Potential versus Aura, a match that certainly has bigger implications on the standings here in the KDL. As Aura right now, Potential coming onto stage. Aura right now, they're 2-3 overall in the standings at 5th place, and 4th place is that cutoff for who goes to the playoffs, who goes home next week. And this is their opportunity really to start to close the distance on Sensation, not just in improving their record overall, but also their round differential, because should it come down to a tiebreaker, Aura, they really got to show up right now. They're dead even, not plus anything, not minus anything. 0 round differential, which means that every time they win a round, they also lose a round against the teams that they've played. Sensation right now is sitting at 3-2 and +9. So there is some work to be done by these guys coming on stage right now. Luning, the speed ace especially, is going to try to guide these guys to victory here in speed mode against the rookie team Potential, now sitting in 6th place.
Yeah, Aura had a really strong showing in Preseason 1 of KDL, and I feel like we just kind of looked at Aura as a team that's also going to make it to the postseason in Preseason 2 as well, but as of recent, they have been really faltering, and Sensation has been able to get a lot of usage out of that time, as you talked about, State. So Aura, if they lose today against Potential, it's kind of clear-cut that Sensation will be the one to move on, so hopefully Aura, they can have a good showing.
Yeah, Potential, Summer has really been a highlight for these fellas, even though he struggled in ace matches over the course of the early parts of Preseason 2 especially. He's sitting 5th overall in standings right now for Team Speed, which is just fantastic. The competition in KDL Preseason 2 is so intense. It says we're gonna mess things up completely. That's one of my favorite quotes from these teams that we got. I like the chaotic energy that it brings to the table here, but really Summer has been showing, I hate to reuse this term, but he's been showing that his ceiling is very high. I'm not going to use the word potential. His ceiling is very high indeed. And also with Taman and Banana coming over from Finale, this team, they've been performing quite well, not quite enough to make them bound for the postseason, but these guys right here, Aura, especially with Luning and Hero at the top, would love to pick up a win and, make a show of it here against Sensation.
Yeah, Aura, they absolutely have to try to win today, but Hero, he's been one of our players who's had the best speed average ranks coming into Preseason 2. Right now, it has gone down a bit, but overall, it's still looking really good. So Aura, they are the favorites of this matchup, and they're saying, can you guys please step aside from our way to the postseason? Whereas earlier, Potential was like, in Korean, they were saying, I'm going to spray gochu powder on you. So it's like kind of saying, yeah, we know it doesn't matter for us anymore to win this match because we can't go to the postseason, but we're still going to spray some gochu powders at our opponent's eyes.
Pepper powder, yeah.
Yeah, and like mess them up so that we all can kind of just fall into the water and drown.
When you put it that way, it sounds quite evil, but yeah, Potential really, they are here to mess things up. That's their plan as we look at the speed track list. Track number 1 will be Forest Zigzag Timberland. I love that we're going to see this one here, one of my favorite tracks, followed by WKC Japan Circuit, Desert Construction, Chaos Village, Boom Hill Tunnel, and Factory Facility 5. So not too many highly difficult tracks. I'm actually surprised that we're not seeing, why am I blanking on the name right now? The one with the hairpin turns right before you head into the finish line, the snowy one. Winding, I don't know, I'm losing my mind actually, but the difficulty of these tracks not quite as high as we generally see out of Aura. I guess Potential, trying to ban some of these out with winding slopes and 3 shortcuts is their selection for bans there, ban 2 and ban number 4. And for Aura, really, this is do or die for them. They have to win this series, and they have to also do quite well in this series if they want to put a dent in the lead that Sensation has put ahead of them right now in the standings. Sensation very comfortably in position 4 in the rankings. Aura right now, they're lagging behind in rank 5. And if they want to close the distance, it's going to have to start here as we move on to track number 1 between these two teams. It will be Forest Zigzag Timberland.
We begin our speed round 1 between our teams, Potential and Aura. And Potential has a pretty good position right now in the top ranks, but Best is all the way in 8th place, so they need to keep that up or Aura's going to take back the lead.
Yeah, and Aura's Hero and Luning off to not the best start right now as they're in the mid-ranks and with some nice drifting, actually able to work their way back up here into the top. So, you know, they're sizing up quite quickly here. And Wave is playing a little bit of a 1v4 with, you know, C's, Knock, Luning, and Hero all right behind him. And now Summer, the speed ace here. Keep in mind, he was 4th or 5th overall in team standings for speed coming into today. So some sweeping on him would be excellent here by Hero as you just see him trying to cause a little bit of trouble. Summer, he is the ace up the sleeve here in speed for Team Potential. You can see Hero just absolutely keeping that in mind, paying a lot of respect to his individual skill, trying to keep him in check.
Keep in mind that Best has stayed 8th place throughout this whole race, and I feel like that's going to be a trend throughout as we see Summer. He's barely winning these line checks against Hero right now, and that shouldn't even be his main objective because mainly he has to come up and be the support for Wave to try to break apart this 1-2, but Aura, they are hanging on to this with the iron-tight grip.
Yeah, Hero's done a fantastic job of sweeping right now in the midfield as he's taken a lot of momentum from all these Potential players on the lower portion of the standings. And, you know, for Wave, he's been playing a 1v3 for a very long time now. Finally, Summer, Best, and Taman are closing the distance to try and lend him some support. But, you know, in a 1v3 like that, with all the collisions, all the lines your opponents can take, you eventually will fall behind. Even if you're a very good racer. His Hero's sweeping is just absolutely superb right now.
Yeah, Luning also stayed behind there to go for a bit of sweeping himself. Now it's a 1-2-3-4 position for Aura. Hero, he's going to give up that 4th spot in attempt for getting more collisions across the board. You can see right now, he's winning the checks against Temin and Best.
Oh yeah, it's just fantastic attacks, and PO feels like they're all but doomed here as C's and Knock running away with this one. Of course, 1-2 is a win condition, so Hero does not mind sacrificing himself. Went for a very bold collision off that, trying to ricochet back into Summer and Best and cause some more problems, but wasn't able to connect. Still, the damage, it feels like it's been done. Summer, he's so far from closing the distance on 1 and 2 with only 500 meters left to go. Peter, I think Aura is off to a great start here with their first win on Zigzag Timberland.
Not just a 1-2 punch, but a 1-2-3 punch, making sure their opponent cannot stand back up. Aura, with such a strong showing here in their own track of choice, showing why these pro teams, or more experienced teams rather, have a big preference for the harder tracks like Zigzag Timberland.
Yeah, I mean, Aura, speed, it's never really been their forte. In KDL Preseason 1, they started off as item specialist and slowly improved over the course of the season in speed. And here in KDL Preseason 2, it's a little bit more of the same. You know, only a 55% win rate overall here in rounds for speed mode for this team. But you know, the mechanical skill, it absolutely still is there, and they flex that hard on Zigzag Timberland, one of the most technically challenging tracks that we have here in Team Speed mode. Is that was a resounding victory for Aura. Very confident in their abilities here in speed. But now moving to WKC Japan Circuit is track number 2. Maybe PO can start a comeback.
You know, say, whenever we have Aura on this stage, I keep catching myself calling them pro teams when they're actually not officially a pro team. That's how good they are. They play like one.
Absolutely.
And you see here at the replay, it's Wave really trying to win that 1v3 in the beginning, but of course, you can't do that when you don't have the support. And Hero, he's had so much support in that 1-2-3 from his team, so he's like, all right, I'm just going to sweep. I don't need to care about my own line. I'm just ricocheting off the walls.
Yeah, it's not about finishing like 1-2-3 or even 1-2-3-4 here for Aura. You just want the 1-2 finish, get that bag. 1-2 is a guaranteed win here in Team Speed mode, so lower-ranking players happy to sacrifice themselves for the better of the cause, as the sweeping was out of this world in track number 1 for Aura. Let's see if they can continue that momentum as we move on to track number 2, WKC Japan Circuit. And off we go on Japan Circuit. Aura once again off to a great start. Knock, Hero, and Luning already leading the pack. And I mean, the sweeping already coming in here from C's.
Yeah, it's just looking so good right now for Aura. They're constantly abusing the strategy of being 1-2-3 and just one member playing sweeper. And you got to give credit to Aura because it's not an easy strategy to pull off. You can see still right now, Wave and Temin are so far behind.
And this time it's C's doing the sweeping as well, as they don't mind trading hands at all here. It's actually Luning with a very odd line. I think we might have a disconnect, and that makes me wonder whether we're going to have a regame here, as Luning, I saw his cart go off the track, and he is fully disconnected now. So I'm assuming that we will have this lobby hosted up once again.
I mean, Aura, even without Luning, you can see how composed they are as a team because they're refusing to give up that mid ranks.
Yeah.
Still being competitive against the 10 in the wave duo. Only now, Hero's going to fall behind into 7th place.
I mean, the race is continuing on for now, so we'll eventually see what the admin decision is going to be. Not holding on to first place right now with 2 blue Nitro, so he will be hard to unseat from that position, and C's right now in 4th. I mean, Aura, despite Luning being all the way down in 8th, they still have a chance of winning this one right here.
If they do the 1-2, that's the win, right, State? That's exactly what Nock and C's are going for as they fight against Summer and Temin. Summer is going to crash into the wall. Now Temin, he's losing the line checks.
Oh, you're kidding me. Aura is playing this so strong right now. Nock and C's contesting the 1-2 finishes. Aura right now ahead in points. Even Hero sizing up in the mid ranks all the way down in 5th points is, Taman and Best, they're making their best effort to try and, force Hero and C's back, but Aura, they're just continuing to fight on right now. Nock and C so close from unseating Taman from that rank 1 position. If they can deliver the 1-2 finish, it will be a win. Also 1-3-5, very close.
Right. I mean, C's has been winning a lot of the body checks so far, but now it's C's and Nock in 2nd and 3rd. Temin, he was able to take away that 1st place along with Best coming in at 4th, and it is going to be enough for potential there to have a point lead in the end.
Yeah. So Potential is able to pick that one up. I wonder whether there will be a regame here, considering that we did have what appeared to be a disconnect on Luning's computer. Is just going to wait and hear exactly what the decision is going to be on this one, as it was very early there in lap number 1. But even in a 3v4 situation, we're racing so well. It was kind of crazy. They were contesting the 1-2 finish for a very long time there. It felt like it was even in the cards, despite being down a man from lap number 1.
That's why I keep calling Aura a pro team, because the form they show when they're winning, it's like a wrecking ball. It doesn't stop.
I mean, that was some insane momentum from them, as looks like we are getting ready to go back into WKC Japan circuit. Some fans here in the audience. So happy to have an audience here at the KDL. Of course, on the weekends, gets a little bit more lively.
Right. And we saw a fan earlier as well with the cheer pool cheering on Potential. They haven't given up, saying, come on guys, we can still make it to the postseason. But our rematch is confirmed.
Yeah, rematch is confirmed, so we're going back to WKC Japan circuit here. It still is round number 2 here in speed mode between Aura and PO. Let's do it again. So we saw the skill coming out of Aura despite the early disconnect there from Luning. We're still in contention of potentially winning 3 versus 4 here in speed with a 1-2 finish. But now that PO's off to a little bit of a better start on WKC Japan circuit this time around, maybe it'll be a different story.
Absolutely. Hero, he's trying to keep up right now. Luning, he does come up for support. That's what I like about Aura. You don't see Nock in the 8th place right now. Nock is winning that battle against Wave, and this is going to be big if he can maintain that, because it buys a lot of breathing space for Hero, Luning, and C's to catch back up into 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, Summer right now, the speed ace here for Potential, doing a good job of zoning Hero out as he went for an ambitious block. Hero was able to dodge it, Best with a nice little nudge there. Just a little tiny bit of sweeping as it is Hero racing a 1v2. Now with Luning behind him, should make this a little bit easier. Now you see the dynamic kind of change here. As Hero and Luning coming in with a 2v2. Now it's a much more difficult for Best and Summer to actually zone them out.
Luning went for an aggressive turn there, but he hit the wall, so he lost a lot of speed off that one. Now he's struggling to maintain a lead going along with Hero here. He fell all the way into 4th place, and now 1-2 is a lot easier for Potential to hold because there's a lot more room.
Yeah, but it's only lap number 2, so there's a lot of kart rider left to be played here. So we're getting ready to enter the final lap now. Hero able to unseat Summer from that 1st place position, but Best with the inner line. We'll take that back as we just continue to exchange hands here at the top ranks. And although Nock and C's right now are sitting down by, position 6, position 8, it's really going to come down to Hero holding on to rank 1 and Luning potentially joining him there.
That is absolutely the win condition right now. Just as you said it, State, Luning is trying to get that 2nd place. It seems like Hero, he's winning the checks against Wave right now, but Best, he comes in out of nowhere, and you look at the triplets out of Potential.
Yeah, Potential coming through really strong here in the final lap, but Aura is able to unseat Best once again from first place. Hero is able to take that one spot, but Best, no, is able to pass him down the line. It's not enough, though. With a 2-3-4 finish, the midfield just too strong here for Aura as they get just enough points to come through with a win. Wow, what a close race.
Aura showing up in their opponent's track, looking completely unfazed, and you have to keep in mind that Aura, they respected Potential's play in these WKC tracks. They banned out the Brazil circuit. They had to play in the Japan circuit because Potential, they picked it right away for their second track, but they're able to beat them in it.
And that was a very close one, too. It really felt like coming down that final 500-meter stretch, Potential was going to come through with a win as, you know, they got 3 racers all holding on to the top 3 spots, but Aura was just able to skirt around them, take the tighter line, find their way to the finish line first, and with a 2-3-4 finish, despite not getting first place, that's a guaranteed win. So now up 2-0, it is match point here for Team Aura as they look to continue on and keep their postseason dream alive.
Yeah, last time Aura and Potential met each other was in the preliminaries, and Aura won 3-0 in speed. They're looking to repeat that here today. If they win this third track, it is going to be a 3-0 win. We're moving on into Desert Construction Chaos. This is match point for Aura if they win, and this is also their own track, so they are looking to close it off right here, right now.
Yeah, Luning's off to a fantastic start, too, with Knock and C's right behind him. So the Speed Ace Summer here for Team Potential will have to play a 1v3 a little bit here. And you can see him kind of doing a bit of sweeping himself, just trying to keep Knock from at least getting up into that 1-2 position. Nice zoning out here by Summer. He just wants to buy some time for Wave, for Taman, for Best, to start to close the distance and lend him a little bit of support.
Keep in mind, in the back line, it's Aura winning the fight against Potential right now. Summer, he's really trying to do whatever he can to prevent Luning from getting first, but Knock, you can see him sacrificing his own line, trying to approach Summer and knock him out of the way.
Especially with that New York City tour bus, going to be so good at sweeping with this long cart body is that might potentially come into play here.
Oh, Luning!
Trying to close the distance.
Yeah, Luning had such a good line there going into that one. Summer, he was also able to not get interfered by Knock, so it's going pretty well for both teams up in here for 1 and 2. But like I said, it's Aura's support that is winning against Potential in the back.
Yeah, the fact that C's and Knock are so close behind Luning and Summer means that it's going to become increasingly problematic for Potential to actually come through with a win here. Taman, Wave, and Best in the back ranks, they're really going to have to step it up. And you can even see on the minimap right now, I mean, we don't have a vision of it, but you can see Hero just turning and doing a little bit of body blocking of himself. And oh, Summer, no.
He's getting collided into non-stop by Aura there. The line blocking was phenomenal. Now it's up to Taman to try to break the 1-2, but look how far behind he is. Knock, he's just playing bodyguard at this point. He's going to look to knock out both players from Potential as we enter the tight turns.
Yeah, and he's going to really use his cart body to its full potential here, too, as well as Taman have a hard time closing the distance. He actually is able to take the inner line and pass Knock, but Aura sees and Luning already after a great start. Oh my goodness, that is some of the most fantastic body blocking I have seen.
Knock, knock.
Yeah, that was absolutely wild. I mean, that just basically won the track. That was speed mode here for Aura. As another one comes through. 200 meters, I think, separating their closest PO player, Wave, from the 1-2 duo, Luning and C's. That was an ambitious block there from Knock. He had basically no momentum, went full stop, and was able to just siphon away all of the speed that anyone had on Team Potential, any chance they had at coming back here in track number 3. And instead, it's going to be a 3-0 sweep here in speed mode for Team Aura.
Yeah, I went into a little bit earlier. The last time Aura and Potential fought in the preliminaries, it was a crushing win for Aura, winning 3-0 in speed, 3-1 in item. And Aura, they made the same thing happen here in speed already. So now, if you're Potential, you have to try to come back in item mode because that's where they showed their main strengths.
Aura feeling very good about that. 2 thumbs up, as Luning is very satisfied with that victory, of course. Aura not only winning the set, but going 3-0 will assist their round differential, closing the distance here on Team Sensation, as you know, it might take a miracle run from this team to make it to the postseason, but after a 3-0 start here in speed mode against Potential, I mean, that's what you need to get the ball rolling. There is still a chance for these guys, and now we're gonna have to shift our eyes to item mode because Potential swapping in Banana, of course, former item ace on his previous team, Finale Esports, now the item ace here on Team Potential. A very dangerous player, a strong strategist to go up against. Aura making a swap of their own. Noctec Duo will be, their tag team here.
Tech, he's well known for being such a sufficient item ace. He's always able to make a lot of plays for item mode on the teams that he's been a part of. As we take a look at the item track list, of course, Potential, they were able to pick their first choice in Village Town Hall, followed by Polar Halfpipe and Cogwheel Crush. Whereas Aura, their strategy seems to be more along the lines of going to Factory Brody's Gloom and Desert Pharaoh's Pass.
Yeah, so Potential, not only do they have the better record overall right now in Team Item here in KDL Preseason 2, but they also have item mode priority. So picking 3 out of 5 maps here is going to be a comfortable position for them, especially given how volatile item mode has been so far here in KDL Preseason 2. I wouldn't be surprised if Banana had some builds cooked up or maybe some combinations cooked up for maps such as Polar Halfpipe or Brody's Gloom or Cogwheel Crush, which can be very tricky here in item mode. And, if this goes to an ace match, that's not really the situation that Aura wants, even if they come through with a win, because every round really matters for this team if they want to close the distance on Team Sensation.
Yeah, I'm sure Aura's absolutely scared right now because Potential's 3 wins in item set so far were against Guangdong Freaks, Live Sandbox, and Seongnam Rocks.
Wow.
Now looking to add Aura onto that list of opponents they beat in item mode as we get ready to move into round number 1 in Village Town Hall.
And off we go on Village Town Halls. I actually had no idea that they had won item mode against the 3 top teams in the standings.
Yeah.
That's something hard to go up against here as Team Aura. I mean, you're right there on the cusp, sitting at position 5 in the rankings, right behind Sensation and those other 3 teams that you listed. It's gonna be a gauntlet here. I mean, Banana and Taman especially, they just have so much chemistry. You can feel it.
Right. They came together, after all, from Team Finale onto Team Potential, and they have been doing phenomenal so far. And so far, we're in a 3-lapper track. It seems like we're seeing the standard items in the beginning. No early Angel.
And no early Angels, no early Lightnings either for these teams. So,
Yep.
kind of reminiscent of the earlier match that we had here today in item mode, where we're probably going to be prioritizing attacks and setting up combinations such as Nitrous and Magnet a little bit more here. And of course, with the Fog of War, these teams don't know exactly what the item setup is on their opponents, right? So it can be very difficult to exactly plan for what the situation is going to be.
Yeah, and this is a track where these water bombs are a bit easier to dodge because of how wide the track tends to be. And we're seeing Temin, he's been holding on to that water bomb for quite a while. Now he's going to cycle through it. And there's a lot more focus now on magnets and boosters.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the next best thing. If you can't come through with Angel Shields or Thunderbolts, you want to set up with as many players as you can to really have big attacks. Or not big attacks, excuse me. Big potential to come through that finish line with a lot of speed. That's worked in the past here in item mode. That was the meta even in KDL Preseason 1, as doing a quick check here on the item inventories as we start lap number 3. Double magnets right now on Tech. Not really a lot of other big speed combos, just a ton of magnets in the top ranks.
I mean, you just have to kind of stick to that first place. That's what the strategy Aura's going for right now. Tech, he's going to quickly cycle through one of those magnets.
Yeah, cycling through that magnet here as we do have Nitrous and magnets on the field, only 500 meters away. Wave will pop that magnet, but there isn't too much more speed to be found. And a nice attack coming in actually will knock him out almost entirely here, as Aura sees goes unopposed all the way into the finish line. Easy win there for Team Aura, and getting a nice 1-0 start here against Potential has got to feel good, especially considering, Potential, they have been the killers of Titans here in item mode so far in KDL Preseason 2. As you said, I mean, the Freaks, Live Sandbox, Seongnam Rocks, all defeated by this team, especially by Banana and Finale, the item specialists on Team Potential. So Aura just continuing their win streak here of 4-0 overall in tracks, of course, after going 3-0 in speed. Now up 1-0 here in item mode, as I'm telling you, I guarantee Sensation right now, they're watching this from home, and might be sweating a little bit. It seems like Aura might actually be making a push here for the postseason.
Well, a 4-0 is a great way to start that push. That's the round differential right now between Potential and Aura in the match today. Aura, if they can win this one 6-0, as you said, the round differentials overall is really important between Aura and Sensation, and they might catch up off of today.
Yeah, I think it's a 9-point differential right now as Sensation's been killer in the rounds. Aura, dead even coming into today, but a 6-0 win, should they get it, of course, we're a couple of tracks away from that, would do wonders for this team and potentially paving their way into the postseason as we get ready to move to item mode track number 2. It's going to be Factory Brody's Gloom.
We start off our item round number 2 with Aura firmly in the lead 1-0 after their crushing win in speed. Aura in top form right now.
Yeah, they're looking really good and in an interesting item mode match where they didn't even get Thunderbolts or a lot of UFOs or Angel Shields on either side. They were still able to come through with a nice clutch win, a lot of speed on the back line, and being able to adjust in situations like that where the item draws kind of go in a little bit of an unexpected way in this meta is very promising here for Team Aura.
As we see a lot of early Angels being picked up right now for Timon, Wave, and Tech. So far, there's a lot of Nitrous on the board.
Slowing down so much is C's. Finally picking up that item. Is a barricade, pops that immediately now. Is looking at the Angel Shields. I think it's actually Potential that has... Okay, they have 2 of them. For a moment there, I thought we had 3. Sometimes it's hard to tell with how fast these players change ranks exactly. I read the name and then I go check the inventory, and by then, somebody that was in position 5 is in position 3 or position 8. Yeah, it's tricky, but a lot of Angel Shields right now on both sides of the board. No Lightnings just yet, but of course not as consequential here with the Angel Shield setup that we have. And in fact, even Shields in general, quite common. So attack's not going to be really strong here in the final lap, lap number 2. And instead, I'm kind of putting my eyes on racers like Hero, who's sitting right now with a Nitrous and a Magnet, because with support from his team and Angel Shields, he can make a very big push here for Team Aura to try and pick up another track win.
As you said, Say, given the emphasis of heavy defensive item right now being held by both teams, it might be more important rather to go for those plays with Magnets instead, because Shields and Angels cannot protect the players from a Magnet. There's no EMP wave on the field. It's Banana, Knock, and Hero looking for a heroic play at the end.
And there's nobody on Potential who has the Magnet Nitrous combo, so we'll see what's going to come through here for Team Aura as they are pumping right now at the finish line. 200 meters left to go. Angel Shield pops.
Whoa,
Summer actually able to make through. Multiple attacks right there, popping both a shield and an Angel Shield as the defensive items come through in the clutch, and Pio gets on the board here, tying it up 1-1 in item mode.
Yeah, Summer, as you said, came in super clutch with that Angel and Shield combo, was able to speed through right into the finish line, no problem, and had Summer not been there, Aura would have had a response of their own because they were also really, really close to getting that first place finish. You can see Hero, he was only 0.2 seconds away.
Yeah, it was about a 1/10 of a second behind as that Nitrous and Magnet combo is oh so potent here in item mode when you really get the defensive setup that both teams had on a track like that one. But just Potential a little bit too fast. The Speed Ace Summer showing that he can be speedy in item mode too. Finishing in first place, they're delivering the win, and that round differential not quite as good here for Aura anymore, as they would love to try and keep it going, regain that momentum here as we do get a recap, and I'd love to see this replay here because I really thought that Aura was going to be able to close the distance completely here at the finish line. So you see Aura, or Potential Summer, excuse me, pop that shield and that Angel Shield in addition to the Nitrous, just able to perfectly work his way through all these multiple attacks, and a 1/10 of a second proving to be the difference there between Summer and Hero, deciding the fate of their teams.
Right, and you can see the completely contrasting opinions from our fans here. The fans of Aura saying it's going to be an easy 2-0 sweep for the day, and the fans of Potential saying we can still go to the postseason.
Well, that's a very optimistic outlook there for the fans of Team Potential as we get ready to move to item round number 3 on Glacier Polar Half-Pipe. Was there really a fan sign that said Potential's going to make it to the postseason?
Yeah, it said, Potential, show me your potential to move into postseason. Word for word, State.
It's just funny to me that they're sitting at 1-4 right now overall in the standings. I mean, this is a team that absolutely has the skill and has the skill ceiling to make it to the postseason. Just hasn't really gone their way so far here in KDL Preseason 2. As you know, the addition of Banana and Taman coming in here from Team Finale has been a boon to them here in item mode, but they just haven't really been able to put it all the way together, you know. And I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to stick together as a team in the next season of the KDL.
Right.
You know, they might be one of the rookie teams that really does have a chance of making a push, of making it to the postseason. But right now, really, it's Aura who's trying to fight it out with Sensation for that final spot, that coveted 4th rank to make it to the postseason. And, you know, now that we're already on lap number 2, we actually have a lot of Lightnings coming in, Peter. Both Tech and Nock, the Nock-Tech duo, each with a Lightning of their own.
Aura looking absolutely fearsome right there as we see Potential. They're holding on to a shield. And Banana and Taman, but the rest of the players, they don't have a shield. There's no Angel, so it is going to be concerning for them right now if they don't pick up more defensive items.
A nice water balloon there, able to catch the lead racer wave and bring him back all the way down to rank number 3 here. But no Angel shield still on the field as we get closer and closer for lap number 3. So I'm starting to get a little bit concerned here for Team Potential as they don't have any Lightnings, don't have any Angel shields. The team inventories are sparse overall, and on the flip side, Aura is just looking very solid.
Yeah, Potential, they do have a lead right now, but will they be able to maintain it? Summer and Wave, they both have a Nitrous to get up onto the top portion of the track, but almost every single player has a Nitrous right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of Nitrous on the field, and Taman actually here for Team Potential, able to work his way onto the shortcut. That's a big boon here for this team.
Oh my God,
I mean, look,
where's
Aura,
Summer?
There's 2 more racers able to work their way in, and now Lightnings are coming through 400 meters away. Potential, Summer, excuse me, was trying to run away with this thing, but the attacks are just absolutely relentless. UFO comes in, as we'll see if they're able to actually make it across the finish line. And no, the final attack there on Banana, the magnet by C's on Banana, able to siphon a little bit of his momentum. And Aura with a 1-2-3-4 finish there. I mean, Potential, they made a great run right at the finish line despite not really having the best team inventory setup. I think they only had 1 Angel shield, if I'm not mistaken, coming down those 500 meters, but they made a close run of it. Still, Aura able to get the better trade as it was 2 or 3 seconds separating C's from Taman.
Yeah, I mean, Summer was so far ahead that I got really worried there, but Aura, they were able to catch right back up, throwing out all their offensive items. It did the trick, and now they're leading 2-1, getting some of those round wins that you talked about, State, and they would love to finish it off on a high note and win the next one, take it home 2-0, but Potential, a lot of teams have shown us, especially the amateur teams, that 3-2 in item mode is a very common thing in Preseason 2.
Especially for a team like Potential that is so skilled in item mode. One of the better item mode teams that we have here in KDL Preseason 2 is Aura going to try to close it out here on match point, moving to round number 4, item mode on Desert Pharaoh's Pass.
Our round 4 of item is match point for Aura, and Potential on the other hand, if we talk about this team's history so far in Preseason 2, they've gone to ace matches in 4 out of 5 matches they played. Only against Sensation, they had a crushing defeat, which was the previous match before this one against Aura, and Aura, they don't want to go to that ace match like you said, State. They want to have the biggest round differentials possible. And so far, this Nock duo with Tech, C's constantly being in the lead, it has been pretty key for them, not only in speed, but also in item.
Yeah, and although Summer has struggled a little bit here this preseason in ace matches for Team Potential, I don't even think it's the fear of him being a top racer that is why Aura would be hesitant to want to go to an ace match here, and look at that as a worst case scenario. Obviously, his team actually with so much speed there, that was crazy. But yeah, it's just the round differential is so key. I think coming in today, of course, Sensation was +9 overall in round differential, and also had more wins in the standing. So Aura not only needing to pick up the wins, but needing to do it in convincing fashion to really close the distance and give Sensation a run for their money in that final playoff spot. And so far, they're off to a great start, and once again, A lot of Angel Shields on the field, and actually some Lightnings as well. I think potential actually with both of them. Yeah,
oh
Summer.
my god, 2 more just got picked up.
Whoa, we have 4 Lightnings on the field. Wait, did Aura get 2 as well? We have 4 Lightnings, 2 on each team.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a Lightning, we get a Lightning too. That's the kind of fair give and take world we live in, right, State?
Yeah,
and of course
crazy.
The Angels.
There's 4 Angel Shields as well. So
yeah.
I mean, like these racers are not going to be rotating out items very much at all here, as there's so many highly coveted. I don't think we have ever seen a team inventory set up quite like this for both teams, with 4 Lightnings, 4 Angel Shields, so many highly coveted items, so high impact. It makes it hard really to predict. I mean, now I'm looking at C's here for Aura, who's in 3rd position, as Lightning and Angels do get popped very early here in lap number 3 coming into this first jump, as momentum was trying to get taken away. And we'll see what C's is able to make happen here with a Nitrous and a Magnet as he's sitting in position number 3. He does pop it, but not enough speed. He actually got body blocked there too on that narrow corridor, as Taman was able to work his way into 1st place, potential picking up another win.
I was a bit worried there because Wave, he didn't get the protecting from Angel against the Lightning, so he fell behind. And as you saw at the end, it became really close. But Banana, he was able to hold on to the lead that he developed by being able to dodge the Lightning. And no, it was Temin actually, not Banana.
Right.
My bad. Temin came in pretty clutch there, and now we're tied 2-2.
Yeah, going all the way, going the distance here in item mode, as these teams just going really tit for tat. It's been so close between them. All KDL preseason 2 long. Both these teams hovering at around 50% overall in item mode wins in rounds. Definitely an even match for each other, or they would love to close this one out and avoid that ace match here, as you know, a loss to potential in the following item mode and also in an ace match would basically be the end of their season here in KDL Preseason 2 as we get a recap. And I really thought C's with that Nitrous, but the body block by Wave was so good. I thought C's with the Nitrous and the Magnet was going to be able to make something happen, but wow, Wave just really cutting him off there.
Yeah, exactly as you said. He was able to actually utilize the fact that he got set back to now play the sweeper role, which is not as common in item mode.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, anytime you can body block like that, especially a lead racer like C's who's gunning for the finish line, you're going to do it, and it pays dividends here for Team Potential as we're going to go the distance here. Round number 5 coming up on Factory Cogwheel Crush. Last track of team item mode today is Aura's looking to close it out. Potential trying to force an ace match.
That would be lovely to see happen. Right now, we're seeing a very early Lightning picked up by Hero here. And
yeah, nice catch.
Yeah, no Angels, of course, had this earliest phase of the race hit. No, Wave, he picks up an Angel as well.
Yeah, so some early high-value items getting picked up on both sides, as we'll have to keep tabs on that as we continue to progress through this one. Now Wave getting hit by a Water Wisp. Will be slowed down a bit. I think a Rocket as well actually might have connected with him, so a little momentum getting lost there as everyone just navigating their way through. And the way these inventories are lining up, still very balanced overall. No team has a clear advantage just yet.
Right, we're seeing an EMP being held by Summer as he speeds off, but I don't think that's going to be enough defense for him just yet.
Ooh.
We see the shortcut being opted for by 4 players there.
Yeah, a lot of racers able to work their way through this shortcut.
And I love that water bomb usage. It was able to stop the players while they were in the momentum from that shortcut. Now it's Wave strongly in the lead, along with Season Nog. He's playing a 1v2 up there.
Yeah, with Nock also behind him. I mean, look at Aura with all these magnets up here in the top ranks. Now that final shield does get popped by C's, so all these additional attacks are going to connect. But with the magnets that they've got, Aura can continue to keep players in position here, as C's, Tech, even Nock right now sitting at position number 8 with the magnet are all in striking distance as we enter the latter portions here on lap number 2. And still on the field right now, double Angel Shield for Team Potential. There is 1 Lightning available for Aura, but that, of course, can be mitigated by those defensive item setups as we're getting closer and closer to that finish line, Peter. Very even overall.
We have 4 magnets on the board total right now. C's leading the pack with a shield and a magnet of his own. Tech, he has a missile and a boost. It feels like this top 4 is going to be really heavily contested.
Yeah, Lightning does get mitigated there by the Angel Shield. Nobody able to take advantage of the shortcut here as C's right now in the lead. He does have 1 shield in this back pocket. Knock also with the Nitro right behind him as he actually will be slowed down there by a Magnet. I think Taven and Banana might have had enough momentum as Potential's going to come through with a 3-2 win. Coming back from, I think, a 2-1 deficit here in item mode to win the final 2 tracks and force an ace. As this is, you know, the worst case scenario here for Team Aura, as now that round differential that was looking to get so much better has been mitigated a little bit. It's not quite as good as it once was, and on top of that, you're now in a must-win situation here in this ace match where if you lose, you're going to fall to 2-4 overall in the standings, and your playoff hopes, they're going down the drain. I mean, it would take a miracle if after a loss here for Aura to qualify, if it's even possible mathematically.
Potential is trying to keep their promise. They said they want to spray that pepper powder. They might do it against Aura. They've already done it in the round differentials, like you said, State, but if they're able to win in this ace match against Aura, it would be the upset that we didn't expect to happen. So far, Potential, they played 4 ace matches. Summer played in all of them. He's only won 1 match against Ghost.
He only won 1 match against Ghost, but this is a kid that has so much potential. His ceiling is very high. He's an excellent racer. He's been at the top of the team rankings for speed pretty much the entire KDL preseason. He's just been struggling to really find that breakthrough in the ace matches. You think it's going to have to be the choice here for Team Potential. But, you know, 1 breakthrough win against Ghost, maybe that's enough to remove the mental block, get him in his comfort zone. This is the situation that he's been finding himself in time and time again here for Team Potential. And, you know, maybe it's a different story. Maybe he's comfortable coming up here against the more veteran team, Aura, in an ace match.
Yeah, keep in mind that Aura, they've been really dominant in their wins and also dominant in their losses because they've only played 1 ace match so far. It was Luning going up against Ghost in the matchup against Showtime. And this is the 2nd ace match of the season they're playing. It's likely that we'll see Luning come up here, but we don't know yet because we don't have too much data on that yet.
It might be Luning. I also wouldn't be surprised if Aura went with with Hero, their runner, as it seems like there is a discussion taking place here amongst both these teams to decide who is going to represent them in the ace match. But, you know, Hero and Summer, 2 of the top racers overall in team matches so far. Luning, of course, he is the speed ace on Team Aura, but he's kind of middling right now in the standings. He hasn't had quite as good a preseason as he did in KDL Preseason 1. So there are some questions here for Aura about who you're going to choose. Is it going to be Hero, your runner? Is it going to be Luning, your speed ace? I know Wolf, if he's watching at home right now, would love to see Luning come out here in this ace match.
Yep.
As conversation continuing here, I think it just has to be Summer for Team Potential, but...
Ooh, our fan is saying they trust Hero. And our producer's showing that maybe we could have Hero up here, State.
It might be. I mean, again, 4th overall in team speed average rankings is just a testament to his consistency, as Hero has been at the top of his game, really stepping it up here in KDL Preseason 2 for Team Aura, as we, I think, are going to find out what the track is going to be, Peter.
Ooh, it's going to be World Tour New York Rally.
Okay. It's going to be a fun one to finish off the team matches here tonight.
This is going to be a track where draft is going to be the most important part that determines it, because the way the track is designed, there's so much room to catch up at any time. So you shouldn't be afraid of falling behind. You really want to make sure that you're maintaining your nitrous boost better.
Oh, wow. It's going to be Knock versus Summer. So Potential surprising, or Potential, excuse me, Aura surprising all of us a little bit here with this selection here. It's not going to be their speed ace. It's not going to be their runner. It's going to be Knock from the Knock Tech duo coming out to race in the ace match. I guess he feels comfortable. He feels like his form is good. Of course, Aura reaching a consensus, and they're not doing this lightly. This is a pivotal match in their Pass of the Post this season. So much is on the shoulders here for Knock to come through in the clutch for Team Aura. Will he be able to do it? Will he be able to beat the young kid Summer? Or will Team Potential stymie Aura's chances of making their way to the postseason? Let's decide it here on the Ace Map track. World Tour New York Rally.
One ace match to decide the fate for Potential and Aura. It's Nock versus Summer right now. Summer, he's always shown himself in the ace matches for his team. Now it's Nock who's really trying to make that debut here for Team Aura. And Nock does have a phenomenal lead right now. Also in the boost gauge, Nock is leading. Right now, Summer is playing catch up. He's complete gauge behind, not within draft range either.
Yeah, Nock off to a great start right now. Summer trying to close the distance, and I think he should be able to do it. As you said, this is one of those tracks where it's hard for one racer to really get a very large lead over their opponent, as Summer now once again comfortably in draft range, but the nitrous gauge dangerously close, so it really will come down to those drafts.
Right now, we're seeing Nock. He's pretty much been uncontested, but Summer, he does manage to close the gap now. He's looking for the potential inners, but you can see Nock right there. He instantly moves inwards to try to potentially block out Summer, but all it did was allow Summer to get more room to catch up.
Yeah, it's a very close race right now. Summer still in striking distance despite being a couple of meters behind Nock. And really here for Summer, just about waiting for that moment to strike, is you have to choose when it's going to be. You don't want Nock to also get that drafted. Oh, I guess he decides.
Here he comes.
Right now, this is the moment where he's going to take the lead. So now the body blocking here for Summer going to be absolutely crucial.
Whoa.
But no, we change hands once again. I would not be surprised if we had this exchange at least once more here, coming down closer to the finish line.
Now it's Summer's turn to try to look for the draft. He's going for the inner, but Nock, look at his line. It's phenomenal. And we can see two players taking the left and right, completely different lines here, but it's Nock with the advantage, coming in first.
Nock able to come through in the clutch there for Team Aura and keep their postseason dreams alive, as it was almost a must-win situation for them. Now closing the distance on Team Sensation. That gap between rank 4 and rank 5 becomes ever closer here, but oh man, what a fantastic race that we had right there. It was on the edge of my seat. Summer and Nock really going tit for tat. And also, what a surprise pick from Aura, putting the faith in Nock, their hybrid player, somebody that's known not just for his skill and speed, but also primarily in item mode, coming through with him instead of the speed ace Luning, instead of the runner hero who's topping the standings right now in Team Speed. They go to Nock, and it was a correct choice.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a closer matchup than we expected today. Potential being able to win in that item mode, bringing us this ace match. And one thing I do want to highlight is Summer just now on the camera. He gave a thumbs up. He's not shaken by that at all, which is very surprising to me, because now Summer has played in 5 ace matches, lost 4 of them, but this player, his mental is still strong.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show how strong his mental really is. And for a young kid like him, he's one of the younger players that we have in the league here of KDL Preseason 2. His performance already here over the course of this preseason has been so good in the team matches, and he's already gotten his win in the ace, and that was one that could have gone either way right there with Nock at the end too. I mean, one draft maybe goes a little bit better. He takes one line a little bit better. Maybe he's able to upseat the veteran and finish in first place. As for Potential, they're at the bottom of the standings right now in the team rankings overall. I think you just take this one. You won an item mode. You're still showing that you have a lot of skill overall. You're going to come back, retool, rekit for the next season of KDL and be even better here as we get a look at the standings.
Yeah, now Aura with 3-3 right now for their scoreboard. Sensation 3-2. If Sensation loses their next match, Sensation will still be on top of Aura, most likely due to the round differentials, which is why we kept highlighting that. But at least now Aura does have a slight chance.
Yeah, there is absolutely a chance for them. And coming into today, there was a 9-point differential in rounds between Sensation and Aura, and with their victory, they are able to lower that to 6. So, Sensation, it's going to come down to these couple of matches they have left, right? I mean, they have 2 more matches left to be played. Aura, of course, has 1. And for Aura, every single lap from here on out, every single track, every single set, it's going to be a must-win situation for them. Sensation, if they're able to just continue to solidify their position there in the rankings, they're going to be heading to the postseason.
And I love that cheerful from the fan there saying, knock, knock on the door of victory. I wonder if they just wrote that or they actually...
They must have.
Yeah, I mean, how could they predict that, right?
Yeah, I mean, the fans here at the KDL are so good. And I love all the clever and creative cheerfuls we have out, too. I mean, there really is such a passionate fan base for this game out here in Korea. It's always such a treat to come here in the KDL studio and see it just absolutely pack up.
Yeah, and I feel like this was one of our best showings we've had so far on Nock as a player. I feel like our eyes are usually on him to be the sweeper for Team Aura because there's players like Hero who's always just running it off into first place. So we haven't seen too much of his speed capabilities yet, but I feel like today in the Ace match, he has shown himself, and this just really shows why Aura as a team always feels super strong because they have a fully packed roster and everyone's good at speed.
Absolutely. I mean, they are a strong team from top to bottom, not only in speed mode and item mode, and so there's very good reason why they were in the postseason last season of KDL, and they're making a strong push to make it this season as well. And guys, we're going to go to a short break. When we get back, solo match, round of 16, the winners match. 4 of these gamers are going to go to the finals. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you in a minute. Oh, actually,
Never
I think
mind.
we're holding on for a second. Okay.
Nobody stopping me. Nobody stopping me. Nobody stopping me. Nobody stopping me.